Good morning students. Welcome to the next lecture of Electronic Measurements and Instrumentation subject. My name is TSS Nagapavan Kumar. Today in this class we are going to see the concept of Wien's bridge. Wien's bridge is one of the bridge in the AC bridges. We have 7 variety of AC bridges. In these 7 variety of bridges we have completed the discussions on capacitance comparison bridge, inductance comparison bridge, Maxwell's bridge, Hayes bridge, Shearing's bridge. Now still we have to see the concepts of Wien bridge and Anderson's bridge. In this video lecture we will focus on Wien's bridge. So these are the previous 5 bridges we have discussed under the concept of AC bridges. So the first one, this is the capacitance comparison bridge. This is the capacitance comparison bridge. And second one is the inductance comparison bridge. With the help of capacitance inductance bridge, we are measuring the unknown value of this Cx. And by using the inductance bridge, we are measuring the unknown value of this inductance which will be there in the fourth term. In the same way, the Maxwell bridge. The Maxwell bridge is also used for measuring the Lx value, that is unknown inductance value. In the same way, Hayes bridge also is used for the measuring the unknown inductance value. Where the last Shearing bridge in the last class what we have discussed, this is used for the measuring the unknown capacitance. So this one and this one, these two bridges we are using for measuring unknown capacitance values. Remaining these 3 bridges we are using for measuring the unknown inductance values. Okay, this is about the review of bridges which we have discussed previously in the previous lectures. Let us discuss the concept of Wien's bridge in this class. So coming to the Wien bridge. The Wien bridge is a type of bridge circuit that was developed by Max Wien in 1891, that is 1891. This is about the reviews of AC bridges, what we have discussed in the previous classes. Let us see the present topic, that is the Wien bridge. The Wien bridge is a type of bridge circuit that was developed by Max Wien in 1891. So coming to here, this is the bridge circuit. In this bridge circuit, as we have 4 arms like previous bridges. So first one, second one, third one, fourth one. So here we have 4 arms. And next coming to here, we have 2 capacitors, that is C1, C3, 2 capacitors and 4 resistors, R1, R2, R3, R4, where R1 and R3 are variable resistors, R1 and here in this bridge circuit we have 4 resistors and 2 capacitors. The 4 resistors are R1, R2, R3, R4, where R1 and R3 are the variable resistors, and here we have 2 capacitors, that is C1 and C3. These are the 2 capacitors here we have. Okay, let us see the theoretical descriptions and bridge balancing conditions of this Wien bridge. So coming to here, the Wien bridge is shown in figure, which will be there, has a series RC combination in one arm and a parallel combination in the an adjoining arm. So here see, in the first arm we have the series combination of R and C parameters, and in the third arm here we have the parallel combination of a resistor and capacitor, that is the parallel combination of RC. Right. Wien bridge in its basic form is designed to measure the frequency. So the basic bridge, it will used for the measuring the frequency. The bridge is used for the measuring the frequency. It can also be used for the measurement of an unknown capacitor with greater accuracy. So this Wien bridge we are also using for measuring the capacitance. So finally what we are saying, the Wien bridge is used to measure the frequency and capacitance, right? So for measuring the frequency and capacitance purposes, the Wien bridge here we have. The impedance of first arm, that is Z1 is equal to R1 minus J omega C1, that is from the one arm. and one more arm. The admittance of the parallel arm. So wherever the parallel combinations here we are taking from the third arm, the reactance Y3, that is admittance Y3 is equal to 1 by R3 plus J omega C3. So this is the first arm, this is the third arm. First arm, third arm, we have given their impedance and admittances. Okay, let us see. The Z2 is equal to R2. The Z2 here we have R2 and Z4 is equal to R4. So these are the we have 4 arms and 4 arm Z1, Z2, Z3, Z1, Z2, Y4, Z1, Z2, Y3 and Z4. These are the 4 arms related impedances and admittances. Right. Now coming to here, we have to take the bridge balancing condition. So the bridge balancing condition is Z1. Here the bridge balancing condition is, see here the bridge balancing condition, Z1, Z4 is equal to Z2, Z3. Z1, Z4 is equal to Z2, Z3. Here we know that the Z1, where the Z1 is a series combination of R and C. In the previous slide we have written Z1 is equal to R1 minus J omega C1 and Z4, where Z4 is equal to R4. So this is one side of the equation. And another side of the equation Z2, Z3, where Z2 is equal to R2 and Z3 is equal to parallel combination of R3 and C3. So from this I am writing the Z2, here I am writing the Z2 is equal to Z1, Z4. So I am keeping Z2 one side and remaining all the components I am bringing to one side. Z2 is equal to Z1, Z4, Z1 by Z3. The 1 by Z3 parameter I am writing as a Y3 parameter. We know that the Y is equal to 1 by 2, admittance is equal to 1 by impedance. That is, admittance, impedances are inversely proportionals. Right. So coming to here, the final equation Z2 is equal to Z1, Z4, Y3. So here, in the place of Z2, we are substituting the value of R2. In the place of Z4, we are writing R4. In the place of Z1, we are writing R1 minus J omega C1. In the place of Y3, we are writing 1 by R3 plus J omega C3. So this is the expression. This is the expression we have taken from the arm impedances. Now, keep aside of the R2 and multiply this R4 and these two functions. So after multiplying, we got the equation like this. So here R1 into 1 by R3 into R4, that is the function of R1 R4 by R3 minus J R4 by omega C1 R3 plus J omega C3 R1 R4 plus C3 R4 by C1. So you have to multiply. This seems to be like as a minus B into A plus B. We have to multiply these two parameters. After that, we got A minus B into C plus D. This is the equation seems to be like as A minus B into C plus D. So AC plus AD plus minus BC minus BD. So like that you have to form the equation. So finally I got the expression like this. So this is the finalized expression which consisting of real terms and imaginary terms. So this is the expression finally I got, real and imaginary terms. So this is the part of the real term, this is the part of the real terms and this is the part of the imaginary terms. Right. Equating the real and imaginary terms. So by equating the real and imaginary terms on both sides. So see here R2 is equal to, here we got the expression R2 is equal to R1 R4 by R3 plus C3 R4 by C1. So you can take the common of R4 and you can bring it to here. So you can write here like this. R2 by R4 is equal to, R2 by R4 is equal to R1 by R3 plus C3 by C1. So in this way we can write the imaginary term. So you have to note it down this final value, how to measure the R2 values or R1 values, R4 values. But in this way we have to measure. And coming to that, the imaginary part, R4 by omega C1 R3 minus omega C3 R1 R4 is equal to 0. So these are the two expressions here we have to form. So from the two expressions finally I am writing R2 by R4 is equal to R1 by R3 plus C3 by C1. So this is the first expression. And second expression from the imaginary terms, that is 1 by omega C1 R3 is equal to omega C3 R1. So this is the expression from imaginary terms. This is the expression from real terms. Okay, so here you can take the C1 value, otherwise you can take C3 value and substitute this C1 value or C3 value in this expression. So after substituting in this expression, actually here we have to measure the third arm resistances and capacitance parameters. For measuring the R3, so after substituting this expression in this expression, here you have to substitute the second expression in the first expression. Substitute this second expression into the first expression. After substituting that expressions, you will find out the value of R3. So you have to derive this part. You have to derive this part on your notebook. So finally we got the R3 value like this, and we got the C3 value like this. So finally we got R3 and C3. So here our major contribution is finding the frequency. Okay, so one side we have measured R3 C3 values, another side we are going to measure, we have to substitute this expression into this one, and finally you have to identify these expressions R3 C3. So here for the frequency in this expression, take omega one side. So this omega you have to bring this side, then you become omega square. The C3 R1 you have to bring here. So finally here 1 by C1 C3 R1 R3, 1 by C1 C3 R1 R3. So omega, here omega square is equal to this one. Omega is equal to 1 by under root of C1 C3 R1 R3. Omega is equal to 2 pi f. We know that the omega function, this is a standard functionality, omega is equal to 2 pi f. The 2 pi f you have to take here. Finally f is equal to, you can write 1 by 2 pi under root of C1 R1 C3 R3. So 1 by 2 pi under root of C1 C3 R1 R3. So this is the frequency expression. So here we have to remember these three expressions. The first one R3, second one C3, and final one F. Three expressions we have to make it note. Okay, let us see some of the problems on this Wien bridge, and see here some of the theoretical discussion about this Wien bridge. The audio range is normally divided into 20, 200, 2K, 20 kHz ranges. So whatever the frequency here we are measuring, the frequency range here we are representing in this way by dividing 4 decades. That is 20, 200, 2K and 20 kHz. In this case, the resistance can be used for range changing and capacitors C1 and C3 for fine frequency control within the range. So whatever the frequency range we have mentioned, if you want to vary the frequency range from one value to another value, so here capacitance important. The capacitance role is very, very important. That is, the C1 and C3 are very, very important. By adjusting those capacitance values, we can obtain our required frequencies. Next, the bridge cap. So see here, these are the two capacitors. The C1, C3. Next, the bridge can also be used for measuring capacitance. In that case, the frequency of operation must be known. So, when you want to find the capacitance value, you have to be a good grip on the frequency. That means you have to know the frequency value if you want to solve the capacitance values. If you know the capacitance value, you can find the frequency of the system. So that is very, very important. For measuring the capacitance values, we have to know the frequency. The bridge is also used in harmonic distortion analyzer. So in the previous classes, from the second unit of this EMI subject, we have discussed signal analysis. At the harmonic distortion analyzer, we have discussed about this Wien bridge, circuit. By using this Wien bridge circuit, we have taken our required frequency in the harmonic distortion analyzer. That we have studied in the second unit, signal generators and wave analyzers concept. An accuracy of 0.5% to 1% can be readily obtained by using this bridge. So we can get most accurate values from this bridge. Because it is the frequency sensitive, it is difficult to balance unless the waveform are applied, voltage is purely sinusoidal. So by using this bridge balancing condition, we easily find out the frequency and unknown capacitance parameters. That is the most important information here. Right, let us see one problem here. So here an example given, a Wien bridge circuit consisting of the following component values: R1, R2, R3, R4. Here we have R1, R2, R3, R4 values and C1, C3. So almost all the component values they have given. Then what we have to find here, that is frequency. Okay, so in a bridge circuit, physically we know all the frequency components. So in this Wien bridge, a special parameter is there, that is frequency. We have to measure the frequency. So frequency F is equal to 1 by 2 pi C1, C3, R1, R3. So here we have C1 value, C3 value, R1 value, R3 value. Substitute, we have to substitute that values. 1 by 2 pi under root of, where C1 is equal to 5 nanofarads, that is 5 into 10 power minus 9. Next R1, that is equal to R1 is equal to 4.7 kilo ohms, and R3 is equal to 10 kilo ohms, and R4 is equal to and C3 is equal to 10 nanofarads. So these are the values we have to substitute here, and we have to simplify. After simplifying, the final value we got 3.283 kilohertz. 3.283 kilohertz. So this is the finalized answer we got for this Wien bridge problem. Right. Let us see one more problem in the Wien bridge discussion. So find the equivalent parallel resistance and capacitance that causes Wien bridge to null with the following component values. They have given some of the component values. They are R1, C1, R2, R4 and frequency. They have not given the third of components, which are parallel combination of RC. R and C. So in the third arm, the parallel R and C combinations we are representing with R3 and C3. If you want to find the C3 and R3 values, you have to know the frequency parameters of the Wien bridge. They have given the frequency here 2.5 kilohertz. They have given the frequency value here 2.5 kilohertz. The remaining component values they have given. Already in the previous slides we have mentioned this is the R3 formula, this is the C3 formula. So substitute that you have to first write down the C3 and R3 formulas. So this is the R3 formula, this is the C3 formula. What we have gathered from the previous derivation of the Wien bridge balancing condition. So in this expression we have to substitute all the values which will given in the problem. So substitute these all the values and solve this problem. So after simplification we will get here the R3 value is 12.4 kilo ohms and the C3 value is 20.3 picofarads. So C3 we got and R3 we got. Okay, let us see. In each and every class we are doing some problems. Okay, so by knowing some of the parameters, we are solving some of the parameters. So after identifying all the parameters, what is the next work? The next work is implementing that circuit, implementing the circuit. So we got this problem. Okay, we got all the values for this Wien bridge. Now take a software, either Multisim or any other software. With that software you have to implement the same circuit. You have to observe the practical responses of this frequency and unknown resistance and capacitance parameters. For a frequency, for a 2.5 kHz frequency, the R3 and C3 values are representing correctly or not. This is very, very important. You have to keep in mind. So this is about our Wien bridge oscillator. In the next class, we will see the concept of Anderson's bridge. Okay, thank you.